Grandpa, you gotta wait for us to beer in before you start drinking the beer.
Oh, I forgot. That's Mountain. Yeah,
All right.
I got some other stuff over here. I forgot I was online. Yeah. Now I'm
Yes,
ready.
DeLorean. As we do every week, we rate a beer and then we get into a topic. Everybody doesn't know this is my cousin DeLorean. Uh, you know, you remember everyone knows the main event, Freddie's Ford, aka Grandpa, and Freddie Kimmett. Uncle Pooh is Freddie Kimmett this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, let's do intros. So DeLorean, give a little quick blurb about yourself for the audience.
Oh man. So obviously, as the title down there reads, DeLorean Davis Jones. Sean is my cousin. Owner of Savant Media Group, so media production company here out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I'm also a certified USCCA firearms instructor.
Oh wow. Yeah, firearm instructor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Wanted to
That,
bring my cousin on today to talk about firearm safety and all that good stuff.
yeah.
I like it. Yes.
So you're essentially the guest. I know you probably never seen the show before, but we normally just get like a drink, like a beer or whatever. We rate it. You don't have to because I know you're working, but I was just letting you know in case you had some patience you wanted to have.
Yeah. I'm over here still on the coffee, bro. I'm trying to push through.
I understand. Well, Grandpa, what you got today? I think I know what it is, but why don't you just tell us?
You see, you think you know what it is? What is it? Give me a guess.
Is Budweiser? You don't put it on the camera.
That beer needs no introduction.
It don't need no introduction.
Budweiser.
The classic horse.
This Bud's for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so we gonna go with the old rating for Bud, or what you gonna give something new today for it?
Well, hey, Bud pretty standardized there. I'm gonna give it a 6 there. And I know Freddie gonna come up with some heavy duty stuff.
Nah. I'm not even drinking today. I got tea.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh,
What type of tea you got?
Homemade iced tea, right? I give it a 6.5.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll accept that because I just bought a gallon of some Arizona, man, and I know tea is good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
Well, let me see. I go last then. I got the last of the 4-pack, Flying Buffalo Chocolate Marshmallow Almond Griffin Claw Brewing Company, Birmingham, Michigan,
Chocolate,
2019.
what?
That sounds like a ice cream soda or something.
Yeah.
Chocolate marshmallow almond.
Chocolate
I guess it's kind of like
marshmallow almond. That's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
guess it's
interesting.
kind of like a s'more or something. I don't know how this is going to go.
I want to know: do they pull off all of the flavors?
I don't know. Man. I'm gonna start off as a 5 because I'm not confident in this.
Yes, chocolate and some marshmallow or something.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hit or miss.
No, you ain't even wait for it to
Taste the
settle
almond,
right here, bro.
You went straight for it.
I taste the almond a lot. I taste a little bit of chocolate. I do not taste any marshmallow. Let me try it again.
Maybe as it warm up, maybe the marshmallow will come out.
Did you taste any beer?
That's a good one. Yeah, I taste a little beer. It has a little kick to it. You know, on the second sip, I did kind of get a mallow taste. The aftertaste is kind of coffee, like bitter coffee. So if you're a coffee drinker, you might like it. But
no, man,
I'm gonna stick with my 5. I'm gonna stick with 5. I'm gonna just give it. I probably will never drink this again.
Once enough.
It's not so bad where I just can't. The reason why I gave it a 5 and not lower is because I'm gonna finish drinking it. Like, it's not bad to drink for now, but if I ever saw it in a store again, I would not purchase this beer.
Yeah, man. It looks full too, like a pretty heavy beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you're definitely going. I'm definitely going to be sipping this slow because I got to do work for the rest of the day, and I can't afford to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Unlike but so now that we buried in and gave the rankings, let's get into our topic. So I want to invite my cousin on here because of his new business venture, and I feel it's important for our community because we've been talking about this a couple episodes to be better at home, like just home defense, and we should just know how to fire guns and like how to take care of them, gun safety. So now, without further ado, I'll give the floor to DeLorean. Oh, by the way, I know Grandpa might be interested in this because he was in the military. He was in the military during both World War II and Vietnam. So he's a
I thought you
seasoned
were going
vet.
to Civil War, man.
Nice. That's
Grandpa's
great.
honest.
You had
I
a
like
whole
and doing my family legency, just trying to figure out, like who we are, where we come from, I ended up finding out that my like great grandfather actually served in the Civil War. And then I have his pension release card. Well, not pension release because he technically died in the Civil War, but I got like his pension card. And then it has like his wife's signature, who I have a photo of their daughter.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was nuts, and I found out people like third Civil War, World War I, World War II, and then my cousin Brian, he went off. I don't even know where, but it's been a lot of people that served, and it definitely made me proud to be able to be free and have the rights that I have. You know what I'm saying? So. And definitely, I think if a lot more people, especially within our community, like did that research and found out like the proud history and heritage of those that came before them, it'd be a lot more kind of like pride in calling themselves African American, or pride in knowing that you're from here and not just so much, of other ways, other ways of thinking.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Know your roots.
Yeah, definitely. It gives you a sense of security of like, okay, cool. Like I do have something. After I found that information out, I was like, I don't know who can have more like tied to this country than me. Like obviously other people have done more, but it's just like me knowing that makes me walk around holding my head like super high and proud, because it's like at every step along the way I had somebody fighting for me to have the opportunities that I have today. You know, and literally.
Right.
Craziness.
So, hey, DeLorean, while you're getting into it, in the private chat on here, send me the name of the what's the name of your gun education business?
So I'm going to type it in here. I'm still getting everything set up, but it's going to be fight or flight training.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. What do you think about all that, Grandpa?
There we go.
Flight training. Okay.
And basically, like obviously, all of our response to like a immediate boost of adrenaline and endorphins. Like, how are you going to respond to something that you aren't necessarily like planning for? You're caught off guard, so that's when fight or flight kicks in, and that's really what I want to establish all my training grounds on. Is just pushing people to those limits while still being safe, but learning how your body's going to react when you're put face to face with that adversity in like an uncontrollable situation.
Now, I remember you came to visit me. You were telling me about how quickly it take. You were telling me a story about someone, like how quickly it was that to get to their gun was by their table, but someone broke in their house, for that person to get into them before they even got a chance to get ready. Like you think because it's right next to you, you can just grab it and you're ready. But what was it like? He didn't have a loader. He was trying to load it. It was just taking so
long. So there is another kind of well-known, like I don't want to say activist, but like black civilian like myself. He also is a lawyer in Texas, but he does a lot of like firearms training and safety and stuff like that. He ran a course where they set his room up exactly how he had it set up at home. And he had his firearm like just sitting there on the side of his bed, like he thought he was cool, not locked up or anything. He doesn't have any kids. But then they run a simulation where someone actually breaks in, and then you gotta grab your firearm and try to, save yourself or combat the situation. Um, and it wasn't loaded, so he had a magazine right there next to his firearm. They kick his door in and he reaches to grab his gun. He tries to put the magazine in and rack it. And by the time all that happens, they're already through the door and then they're shooting him. Obviously they're fake bullets, but it's like a simulation to, put you in that fight or flight response. And then obviously they hit him. So then he ran it again. And they were like, what did you learn? And he's like, oh, well, this first time I ran it, I learned that how I have things set up right now, like that's not going to be good enough for an immediate reaction to a serious situation. So then he put it with the magazine in and laying on his dresser the exact same way. And what he was doing was he was waking up and reaching over like this with non-dominant hand, which he then has to move it over to another hand, get his grip, get his stance, and then same thing. They hit him again, and he's like, "Damn!" Like so, having it loaded, having it on my dresser was still not good enough. So then he had to really think about like one, how he would get to his firearm, where he could not be stagnant, where he can move. And then what happened was the same thing. They kicked the door. He rolled over and then just grabbed it with his dominant hand and then rolled on the floor and moved over. So he had a little bit of cover. And then when they came in, they couldn't see him. And then boom, boom, he got him. So it was a real life situation as far as like the training to allow you to know how to actually work within your house and then what's going to actually happen to you in that stressful situation. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
But like it was like to me, like you think you're kind of safe, like you hear a sound and you got like a few seconds for some bus upstairs, but stuff be happening quick, man. Like, and that was a trained professional. That's somebody who does this, So that really opened my eyes. So that's why I was really interested in bringing DeLorean on because I was like, I know that you're very big on this. So I was like,
Yeah, I'm like, not to cut you off, Sean. I've done so much training like over the last 3 years. It's like every week I'm at the range, and then now I'm taking a lot of like secondary classes with other instructors. And the whole thing that I'm seeing when I'm getting up there is it's no longer just a shooting exercise. They're like, I'm gonna make you run 300 yards, do up downs, get your heart pumping, and then make you run 25 yards to get your gun, and then try to fix like a faulty reload or something, and then hit on target. And then it's like, but again, if you're in a mall with your family, you could be the last situation that they kept bringing up. It was just BS, but they're just like, oh, if I'm at the food court over here, my wife is in Victoria's Secrets and I hear a shooting and I got to run 300 yards to get my wife, make sure she's safe, and then possibly, get into a situation where against like a threat, your heart is going to be pumping so hard, it's going to be chaos around you. Like you're going to get tunnel vision, and then those are going to be the grounds on which you have to operate. So like while within our community, we somehow, or sometimes I should say, glorify just the fact of like, oh, I got a gun. You see a lot of people in videos putting them up, doing all this. I got an extended clip, stupid shit. It's like, do you know how to actually use that? Have you pushed it? And that's where the interest in training came forward with me, and I definitely want to teach a lot of people within the community and outside,
So did you grow up shooting weapons, or like how did you get like how did you get there? How did you get here, right? Like,
so I definitely never grew up around guns, never in the house. My mom recently told me a story about how something she got in when she was younger, and that's why she always pushed me away from it. But growing up in Ann Arbor, I didn't really have too much of that stuff to like really worry about anyway. But then throughout the pandemic, there was so much kind of like crazy videos of like Black people being traumatized by the masses, and then disrust within communities. And I had a daughter who was 1 year old and my wife was pregnant, and I was like, there is no way I'm going to let that shit happen to my family or me. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm here to keep them okay. And then it started with just like I was saying, like, oh, go to the range, put a few reps in. But then as I started researching the possibilities and what you could do, and like, if I'm interested in something, I'm like overly interested. So it's probably like a force of habit for me. But once I really got in there and saw that I was like pretty good, it wasn't anything to just keep going into it further, you know.
Nice.
So when did you make the transition from, I guess, like a better term, an enthusiast to someone who wanted to educate?
Just probably like 2 years ago per se. Um, because like I was going to, even though the area where I was going is a very nice range, probably like one of the best I've been to. And there's a nice diversity of people who shop there, who work there. The people who are getting involved in the classes are very one-sided, you know. So it's like I'm going in there and then I'm really the only black person. And then I'm like, shit, like do more black people not want to get trained on how to use this properly? And then I kept getting feedback from the people in the class. They'd be like, damn, like, are you a police officer? Like, you must be ex-military. And I'm like, no, I'm just a civilian. Like, they're like, no, civilians ain't shooting like that. I'm just like, oh, I'm just, I dedicate myself and I take it serious. You know,
They saw the goatee the situation. It was like, this is law enforcement.
yeah. They were like, no, ain't no way.
They said black people don't shoot like that. That's what they were saying.
Yeah. I mean, then if I had like a camera like filming me sometime, like you would see the faces of people just being like, "Oh shit."
I seen a viral video of a guy. You know, I guess they switch out the weapons and whatever. But he was like black dude. He was super dope. But you see the white boys in the background, like, like it was like, where you get those skills from? Like,
yeah,
what was that?
like,
Yeah,
oh,
I can imagine.
yeah. And then it's like I'll take like family members to the range, and then I pull out a timer. I'm standing behind them, and then it's beeping. It's boop. Like, draw that weapon, pull it from the holster, let's go. And I set it to a time limit, and people are just like, this dude is like crazy intense. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't really think it's intense. I think it's fun to push yourself like within the limits of being safe. You know, by no means are you just throwing something out there, but it's like, like work, like if you're on a deadline and you're doing your job, you're going to push yourself to get an extra 15-20 minutes to get the job done. So it's really no different when it comes to this from my perspective. And yeah, people are just like, oh shit. Like when I did my certification class, I mean, it was people in there who were current firefighters. There was people who were current police officers in Fowlerville. There was people who owned firearm stores. Like, it was super broad, the people who were trying to become certified instructors who could sell this service to other people. But none of them hit a target like all within an A zone, and then it was like the requirements were 4 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, 25 yards, all very like short distances, like for me. And then like they're like, oh, how many did you hit, DeLorean? I was like, I hit all 50. Like, what do you mean? And they were like, oh shit, like, and teacher's like, yep, there we go. There's my number one. And it's just like, it's just crazy to me the amount of police officers I see in these classes that don't know how to discharge a double feed or don't know their offset. They don't know their weapon. They're fucking out of shape. It's crazy, and those are the ones who people think are supposed to protect you. It's like, nah, bro. Like, so like if you don't have it within yourself to, again, run 300 yards to get to your wife and beat gas and then still got to fight, it's fucking over. So that's just where the whole mentality is with me, like, and what I plan to not necessarily drill into people, but really make people understand the importance of the firearm safety, the training, and then your overall kind of health and yeah, I guess it's health, overall health. You got to be in shape.
Health and fitness.
Yeah.
it's like the name is dope, fight or flight, because like you're choosing to fight. I want to flight. Like, I'm ready to lead the country because I think it's retarded. Like everybody's walking around with a gun. That just everybody's walking around with a gun, and then I got a gun. That don't make me feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, these people can't shoot anyway.
Yeah.
And they're walking around. The police officers can't shoot. So everybody walking around with a gun, it's like, okay, it's time to get the hell out there. That's what it is. That's what it is for me. Like, I'm on some flight shit. Let's go. Let's get away. You know, and I know people always say, well, where are you going to go? There's violence everywhere. I said, really not, though. It's not. Like, everybody, now there is a form of violence, but everybody not walking around with a gun everywhere on this planet. Like, some places you can't even have a weapon. Right?
Yeah.
I'd rather go live there. And somebody run up, we just do it the old-fashioned way, buddy. See what your hands about.
I mean, it would be nice. Like,
it would be nice.
Yeah, within my business, I've traveled to Australia, to Spain. I've been to Paris, London, Africa, like all over the place. And as you were saying, like in all those places, there's been violence. Like there's been a situation on tour in every single one of those countries where we're just like, what? That is insane that happened, you know? But yeah, it isn't necessarily gun violence. But the reality for me is just like, I either have to do it or I'm just setting myself up for failure because constitutional carry is just growing now. You know, like the last class I took was in Ohio, and we went out to eat afterwards with like my father-in-law's family, and I was just mentioning to them, I was like, about the class, and I'm like, you know how many like firearms are in this bar right now?
Right now.
Yeah, they were like, huh? I was like, are you not aware of what the fuck is going on? Your state just passed constitutional carry. Every person in this bitch has a gun.
At a bar.
Yeah, at a bar. You know, and they aren't even
That's
supposed to. You aren't even supposed to. If you do have it, you have to have a BAC under like 0.08. So you can have like a beer. You know, but again, like, if you don't understand the laws that are put in place for you to just live in this country, you really need to start, because that
makes me super nervous. The fact that it's spreading, it's just going to be more and more idiots with weapons. But they already got them, you know. They already got them. Like, so that's a thing too. So.
Yeah, they said in the state of Ohio, obviously everyone doesn't have firearms in their house. But based off of the amount of sales that they have, they said for each person there is 1 to 3 firearms in 60% of the homes in Ohio.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy.
This place is crazy. This is an insane country, man. Insane place. That is just crazy to me.
But so you could probably attest to this. Like my dad used to say back in the day, like, and people had the trucks, there used to be these little like hooks on the back, and everybody would have like a rifle in their truck.
Gun rack.
And I was just like, what? So it's always been here, you know. It's just like I feel like we got real comfortable to where we didn't have to think about it. But then after having Agent Orange in office and then having that shutdown, it just awoke something within people. Again, that's always been there, but now it's just everybody got a phone, everybody got the internet, everybody has a TV, so it's just magnified to the tenfold, you know. But it's not magnified with the stuff that is beneficial, you know. So it's like, if we can show people handling firearms safely, if we can show people pushing themselves in class, we can show parents who are carrying but still at the park taking care of their kids, being playful, the whole thing can flip, you know. But because it's not going nowhere. So again, like for me, it's either you get comfortable with the situation as it is and how to move forward, or you're just going to be in a place where you can be taken advantage of at any given time, you know.
Yeah. Or you lead the country.
Yeah. You fly.
Oh yeah, I'm going with C. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. I'll come back and visit, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll zoom in. I have internet.
Yeah. I have all the generators.
Right, yeah, you gotta do all that. This man. I don't know.
They're like, damn, only
Hey,
house power.
Okay.
so, hey, Grandpa,
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we're gonna me and you are gonna go to one of DeLorean's classes. We're gonna do this. You want to do it?
go on this class. Oh yeah, I think I like that.
Yeah.
When's the last time you fired a weapon, Pops?
I can't remember. I got a brand new 45 Glock.
Okay.
Ain't never been fired.
A Glock 45 or 45 caliber?
I guess the bill of sale probably still in the case, you know. So yeah, I'd like to kind of put it to use or find out what it's all about, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, most people that's what they do. Like they're like, oh, well, I'm not really into guns and I don't have one, but I would like to have one in my home. So they go out and buy one the right way, but then they stash it away on in the closet, and it's sitting there in a box. It's never been used, and again, the amount of time it would take to actually get to that thing, and then you got if the magazine isn't even loaded, oh shoot. Bloop, 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 bloop,
Yeah.
bloop.
First of all, where is it? I forgot.
Yeah. But that's awesome. That's awesome.
My my Glock and my munition is so far apart, you know. It's almost like not having none. You know, you got the gun, you say, oh, I ain't got nothing to put in there. Where did I put them at?
Yeah. That's like kind of as well a part of the knowledge part. Like, obviously, I can train people for how to use a weapon. It's very simple. You know, if the fundamentals is the hard part, how to actually hold it, how to grip it, the upkeep. But the knowledge, as you just said, like, oh, you got a firearm, you got ammunition, but it's so far apart. Like, we won't know how to operate in those situations until those situations happen. But realistically, those things don't happen every single day. So the only way that people can learn how to go about those situations is to have somebody teach them, you know? So, like, for example, one thing that I do, I have loaded up magazines in 110, you know? So God forbid if something ever happened, I don't have to worry about grabbing a bunch of magazines and trying to load them up. They're just already set, ready to go. And it actually is better for the springs. But people wouldn't necessarily know that. So, like, I'm happy you said that, because again, like, that's why I want to do it, because that type of knowledge is super valuable, you know.
No, I like that. So say this, because we got two sides of the spectrum. We got Grandpa who's like, yeah, I'm down to learn to shoot and all this stuff. I got me some weapons. We got Uncle Pooh Bear, like what? Like, so say this, say you got just two separate people like them coming to you, right? What do you do to either make one comfortable or to teach both? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you convince someone like Uncle Pooh Bear what you're talking about is good, it's safe, you know what I mean? Because he wants to leave. So, like, I'm not saying you're going to convince him to get out, but I'm just saying, like, as you are here now, like, what you should be looking at.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think I could really change someone's perspective within self with how they view, like, in this situation, firearms. Like, some people just really are not down with it, and that's okay. You know, some people may be down with it. That's okay too. But then there's a lot of people who fall in the middle, kind of just like how I was, where it's like, I don't really mess with that. I'm not trying to get involved. But then once they get a little bit of experience with firearms, with people around them who they can feel comfortable with, that's when the light kind of changes, where you're just like, okay, cool. Maybe this is just a regular thing, like going golfing or going bowling or going to the gym with friends. So I wouldn't be trying to push either one of you or any student in one just very intense way. It would just be in a conversation, you know, like, oh, so everyone give an introduction of who you are, your experience, and what are your objectives. What would you like to learn out of this intro level class, which is going to be heavily based around safety and operations. There'll be a little bit of shooting, but what are your goals by taking this class? Hopefully, People have goals in mind that they want to get better at when they're spending their hard-earned money on something. If people are just like, oh, whatever, I got bread, I'm just paying money to just go hang out with friends, then cool too. Maybe you'll have fun just shooting, But with 2 different people, 8 people, 15 people, getting those objectives and being able to connect them to other people, that's what's going to be that middle ground that allows me to connect to so many different people at one session.
I like that. I like that. So when you talk about education in terms of like the different things that people have objectives to get to, like what? So when someone comes to your class, like what are some key, like what was it capstones, milestones? What's the thing where this is what, no matter what, I feel confident I'm gonna get, say, these 3 things through to a person.
Mhm. So there'll be a description, like in this class it's going to be home defense, concealed carry, emergency first aid. So with those things, you're going to learn different fundamentals for home defense. So, for example, all the doors in houses, they really have like a little inch to inch and a half screw within the plate that locks your door. You can essentially just swap out those screws for 3-inch screws, which will go through both studs. And then that alone will prevent someone from kicking in your door on that first kick. So again, that knowledge, you might not even be into guns, but it's like you're gaining knowledge for how to keep a safer home for you and your family. So that'll be like one situation. There'll be points of like, bring 50 rounds of ammunition. We're going to shoot off 50. Some people, like in your grandfather's situation, may have gotten a brand new gun and never have shot it before. And this gives them an opportunity to put some rounds through it and see how comfortable they are with it. Another portion is about like emergency first aid. So people can learn how to stop the bleed. That's a really important thing. Last class I took was with an ex-Green Beret, and he said he's saved more lives than he's actually killed. And it's like, again, we think that things are going to be so one-sided all the time, when in actuality, it may be you're just a first responder. You got kids, you got family, and you're trying to navigate through things just to get them out. So I hope I was on track there. I got a little
got fired up.
Yeah, like the description is what's going to allow people to know kind of what they're going to take from the class, essentially.
No, that definitely, that 3-inch screw thing I didn't know about. That's dope. I have to go to Home Depot after this.
Like, no joke, bro. Like, go get your drill and just take one of those screws out. You're gonna be like, this little ass screw is what is holding this whole door in. Like, you can have a bolt lock all you want to that goes through that wood, but in order for that bolt to go through, it had to be drilled into a solid piece of wood. So it's already fragile now, because you got a shallow piece on one side, a shallow piece on the other side with metal going through. So as soon as someone kicks it, it's already weak. Like, you've created a weak point in the foundation of that door. And all you got to do is swap out those screws, and it'll go literally through both studs. Every door frame has 2x4s on both sides. Like that there is going to give you so much. Just to hear that, oh shit, like someone's at the door. What's going on? You hear it again. You're still safe. It gives you that extra 5 minutes of time, which can be so valuable, like to you and your family's life.
Oh, Poober, he's searching 3-inch screws right now.
Nah, that was good. That's good info, though. Like, yeah, I never heard that before.
Yeah, when I went to Sean and Ashley's house, he got this super huge staircase, and I'm like walking through a plan. I'm like, all your rooms are connected, and like this is how Ashley can move Sean Claude, and then you all's future child to be through these doors, and then Sean, you can stand right there at the top of the stairs, and you don't got to go downstairs because you got the luxury of space. And it's like, that's the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like the range stuff is cool because you get to go and you get to use something, but realistically, you weren't putting in no work. Like, you have no clue what's going to happen when your ass starts running, like, and people are screaming, and then you like,
yeah,
that's when you know how you going to get down. So
No, I appreciate it. I'm definitely going. When you get things up and running, I'm definitely going to the class. I was about to, like, now I was gonna be like, after this, I was like, hey man, let's go to the range every once a month. Now I'm like, I gotta take the class officially.
You gotta take the class
That,
now.
that little
Yeah,
tidbit
yeah.
stuff.
Can't just
Yeah,
go to
the
the
little
range.
tidbit stuff is that's the nuggets, man. Like, I would never thought about that. That's
Yeah, I didn't think
like
they
little
taught
stuff,
all of
and
that
like it
type
was
of. Yeah. Go ahead, I got fired
well,
up. Go
like
ahead.
when he said home defense, it made me think about he's just talking about teaching you how to defend yourself with a gun, but he actually meant your home defense.
Defense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this and like there's been many a time when we talked about like how in other cultures there's like I shouldn't say a trial to be an adult or a trial to prove you're an adult in your community, but like this I think we should have more people like you doing teaching these classes because like if I was a teenager, like you don't necessarily have to teach. I mean, obviously you can teach kids how to fight or gun, but just to be aware, like they're about to go to college or they're about to go out into the real world, get an apartment, just to know these little things that can make themselves safer without even having to pull the trigger. Like everyone should know this stuff, and like this, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it sounds like
this is
survival
like
training.
man, it does sound like survival training.
Yeah.
They have like different color codes. So there's like yellow, red, orange. It's basically just easy colors, obviously, but just ways to go about like walking around. Like for example, so many people are just like this. They're
Man.
constantly looking at their phone. They go to order food. They don't look up at the people. Oh yeah, I want this. Cool, cool. Yep. They look away, and it's like, while it's okay because we had the luxury of being somewhat safe because of those who came before us and fought for our freedoms to be here in these positions. The reality of the situation is at any point in time, something can happen. So like if you're walking around really oblivious on yellow all the time or white, how safe are you? Like, so we really want to pay attention to our surroundings. When we want to walk with our heads held high. When people walk past you, look at them. Hey, how's it going? Acknowledgement of your fellow man, your fellow woman. When you're obviously, I wouldn't go too deep into like partying and stuff like that, but that just comes with becoming an adult and understanding like how much you can actually consume. Like we really got to stop being out here being foolish. Like nothing can go wrong when so often we've seen that things will go wrong, especially when we're going about them in a reckless way. So it's like, yeah, just really getting to, again, know people and then them presenting their objectives for what they're trying to do. Like that's where the whole foundation comes from, because every person, again, they're taking the class because they want to learn about firearms. They want to see if they have interest in this. They want to be safe, but like, what are the hidden guidelines that push you into this direction? Are you a parent? So that'll teach me there, like, okay, cool. You need to understand situational awareness because you got to know where your kids are at all times. You aren't just, somebody started shooting, you aren't just going to pull out a gun and your kids are over here scared, running away. So maybe you have to learn how to switch your thought process. Maybe you have a hard time with the grip, like, and you keep dropping your shots lower left. So I can help you understand how to hold your weapon, how to stand. And then again, once you do those things and you see the change, that's when you're going to be like, okay, like this is something for me. I need to get going.
So I guess this is a question because I know you have your license, you can carry and all that. So say I get my concealed carry, you get pulled over by the police. Like I know there's different protocols you have to do because you have a firearm in your vehicle and assumingly on your person. What
Yeah.
do you do in that situation to be safe?
So you know the laws within your state. So that's another thing that we within our community kind of lack sometimes. Again, it's like it's not cool to be in the books and to just be overly like researching things. It's more cool just to have the tool. Like, oh, I got one. But if you learn the rules within your state, that's really going to help you out a lot. So, for example, here in Michigan, unlike other states, you actually have to tell the cops immediately that you have a firearm on you. Too many times people get into this situation where they're pulled over. They don't tell the cops they have a gun on them because they're scared. They don't want to be shot, which again we've seen so many times over and over again. But if they would just know the law where they are, their hands, for example, I have my stuff, my insurance, my registration. I actually have copies of my actual ID, my CPL, all in one folder that's in my visor, so I don't have to reach for anything. I always keep my firearm on my body, so I don't have to reach for my firearm. Hey, I'm pulled over. Cops come to the window. Hey, sir, we pulled you over for blah blah blah. We just want to know, do you have any firearms, anything illegal, any drugs in the car? Hey, officer, just so you know, I do have my firearm on me. Never call it a gun. Again, the definitions, the terms that we use in situations, those can be the detriment to your survival. So that cop is a human being, just like you're a human being. Half the times they have not interacted with people who look like you other than what they're taught and what they see. So their fight or flight response is up here, yours is up here, but we got to be sure to bring everything back down. So, hey, officer, I have my firearm on me. I'm carrying it in my appendix. I have all my information right here. Would you like me to get it? And get it, I mean your information, never your firearm. Because if you're reaching for it, and again, they're a human being, they get scared. They think you're going to reach for a gun. They can shoot you. So again, you want to tell them where it is on your body or where it's in your car. If they want to see it, you say, okay, not a problem, officer. I'm going to have you take me out of the car. You know where it is on my body, and I'm going to have you take it out. That way you don't have to reach for it. They feel comfortable. They don't have to holster. They don't have to have a gun in their hand because they're physically stepping you out of the car. So you're going to be safe. And half the time, if you tell them in a way, oh, I'm carrying an appendix, I'm carrying on my waist, my firearm is in my glove compartment, they aren't going to make you reach for it anyway, because that presents a situation where both people don't necessarily feel comfortable. And they're just there doing a job. You're just doing your job trying to get home. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to have your spouse in a car, for example, in the Philando Castile situation. Why the fuck you pulling him over? He got a CPL while y'all just profiling us. That's boosting the situation up. And you do not want to be there. So again, everyone in that car needs to understand the rules. Everyone in the car needs to understand why you're choosing to carry and allow you to be in control of the situation. And again, everything is right here in my car. So my hands are on my steering wheel. Would you like to see my license and registration? Cool. I'm going to grab my license and registration. It's up here. You can see my hand. I ain't going like this. I'm not reaching over. I'm not going you don't have to worry about that. Can things happen? Yeah. But you will hope in that situation by going about it how you should. And I spoke with enough police officers who said if you do go about it like that, you're going to end up probably walking away with nothing. Because again, if they know you have a gun in your car and it's speeding 5 over, or it's something just really low, they're going to let you go. If you got a warrant out for your arrest, you got some shit in your car, then you're probably going to be in a situation. But if it's just something minor, they'll probably let you go.
Hey man, you got a lot of faith in these motherfuckers. I tell you that. You got a lot of faith. You do. You really, really do. Yeah. I don't have that same faith, but I hope like hell it work out like that for everybody that runs into that encounter.
Yeah.
There's another reason I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, I haven't had really any of them since I really became an adult. I used to be in trouble all the time just by doing stupid shit, recklessly partying, at parties, drinking, getting MIPs, or we're doing some BS. But as far as with firearms, I always tend to do what I'm supposed to do because that's the grounds for my safety, regardless of how other people handle themselves. It's I already know I'm at a disadvantage because they never wanted us to have guns in the first place. And that was until that wasn't until we were considered men, that men and women, I should say, that we were given those actual rights of other men in this country. And that, like I don't even know. It wasn't Jim Crow. It was what was like slave catcher laws? Like what was that stuff about? Like, but that's really the reason why Black people like really weren't allowed to have guns because they were
like the slave patrol.
Yeah. And like we weren't allowed to have them. So again, I already understand that they don't want you to have a gun. But the determining factor that I know of, if you even want to make it home, you better make sure that you're on point. So I just do what I can. And again, the police officers that I have spoken with, they all have said that's how they would handle the situation. Obviously, they aren't at work when I'm talking with them, and they aren't around their patrol buddy. Another thing you want to do is if you do feel uncomfortable, which 9 times out of 10 you probably will do, and you're being pulled over, call the cops, call 911 immediately. You don't got to pull over and stop. You could pull over and drive a little bit slow, and call the cops and say, hey, just so you know, I'm being pulled over on so-and-so. I do not feel comfortable with what's going on. Can you send your sheriff? Can you send a higher up? And then you're going to have an established line of contact with the police before you're even pulled over by police. And that's already going to put them on check because they're like, oh, shit, now my boss knows about the situation. Like, fuck, I didn't want to be in this anyway. It's some bullshit. You got anything?
It wasn't belligerent on the phone, how they like.
No, that's new. I didn't know you could call the police while you're getting pulled over, or you can slow down. That's something different.
Yeah,
I feel like I saw that in the movie. I still don't want to be pulled over. I don't want to be. I ain't got. I mean, he alone.
He dropped 2 major gems on us today with the 3-inch screw and the slowing down for the car. That's next level for me.
Yeah, it's real. Because
hey, everybody who's watching this show or who's watching the replay, don't forget fight or flight training. If the dude on the website don't look like this man, it ain't the right thing. You're gonna get some proper gyms.
Yes. You'll see a lot more. I'll type my handle in here. Big fly. 2 eyes. Yeah, I think so.
While you're typing, because I know I love that my uncle. This is which handle is this for?
Oh, it's 1 eye. For Instagram.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
But in the process of getting the site together, that's where a lot of the material is going to be. So, yes, if it don't look like me, not training right.
It's been hacked.
Yeah.
Now, Uncle Pooper, now that you've heard all this, are you intrigued?
Nah, man. I'm trying to leave. If I decided to stay, I mean, there's nothing else you can do. You got to arm yourself. So I mean,
like as you are right now, because I don't know when you're going to leave. Like as of now, right now, like if just as a concerned citizen who's like interested, like would you say interested, or would you say like, nah, this hasn't changed my opinion one way or the other?
No, it has, because it's more than just firing the gun. Like that was like really the key interesting point for me. Was I'm just not at the range shooting a gun. We're talking about way more than even just gun safety, right? Like the home defense, the getting your heart beat up, like just if you're gonna have a weapon, you got to understand that you ain't even got to run. If a situation pop off, your heartbeat gonna spike any damn way, right? And like just everything around it was really interesting. If I decided to stay, I would be interested, but
yeah,
I'm just trying to accelerate my exit.
I understand. I mean, I see Grandpa's riveted.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It's a course in there about even like the law, like the rules behind ownership and like how they're going to treat you. And like, for example, my sister, bless her heart, she's like, I went to the range with Uncle so-and-so, I'm not going to name him. And they pushed the target all the way back at 25 yards, and I was slapping it. Pow, pow, pow. And I was like, Penny, they gonna lock you up. Cloud. Like, because like legally, like you can really only shoot someone in a self-defense situation at 9 to 11 yards. Anything past that is going to be looked at as murder one because you would have had a chance to run. And then it takes someone, actually, what I was telling you, Sean, it only takes someone 2 seconds to get 11 yards. So that's why they set that grounds for this is how far people have to be for you actually to pull your firearm and use it legally and not be looked at as a killer, essentially. So her out here with the target super far away, just shooting off, probably hitting in the arm, the chest, the leg. It's like that shows an uncontrollable grouping. You're just letting them go. But again, if somebody is running at you, they're closing in 9 to 11 yards, and you shoot 2 in the chest, 1 in the head within 2.5 seconds, and they fall, and all the wounds are coming in the chest and out the back, you're going to get off. But again,
so now we gotta do real life arithmetic math. Like you 15 yards, you're too far.
Oh, you come a little bit closer though.
yeah. I mean, people have been like, man, like I got it in the car, then they run to their car and then they take it out of the car and go back to the situation. And it's like, if you had an opportunity to get to your car, you could have left. So like again, they're going to
escalate it.
Yeah, they're going to give you murder one. But if people understood the laws and regulations around ownership and actual safety, we all would be safer. Regardless
is
of
is that a federal law or is that state law?
I'm not sure. I want to say federal, but things do change state to state. For example, I know in some states they have stand your ground laws. So if a person just crosses your door, the threshold of your home, and you don't want them to be there, you have the right to murder them. We don't have that in Michigan, so it has to be.
We have the council rule, don't we?
We might. We might.
They're in your house. You can gun them down. That's why
I know you still have the council rule
your
in
house,
Michigan.
drag them inside. but in Florida, that's how Zimmerman got off. They weren't in the house. They were just on the street.
Yeah.
And he stood his ground, quote unquote, after he's the aggressor. But you know what that's all about.
No, it's crazy, man. And
it's crazy. That's why it's time to go. Time to go, man.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here, bro. I'll take your generator when you leave.
Hey, I'll send you pictures. Be like, I'm on this beach, like you should be here, bro. They only got coconuts out here.
I'm healthy. I'm getting all the minerals.
Well,
yeah.
Let's wrap up our show then. I gotta try to wrap up on time today. But when you think you're going to be you're going to launch it?
I'm probably going to have the site up before the new year. The situation right now that I come across is finding that home base where we can actually have the classes and the range set up. I have one of those right now, which is Century Arms. They're actually the oldest Black-owned range in Michigan. They're here in Carlton, which is right outside of Belleville. They have the shop indoor and they have the outdoor range where you can go up to 300 yards. But they only have regulations. So I have to go through the approval board to get in there to start my classes. But that's more than likely where they will be. And like I said, hopefully by the new year, I'll have everything set up in place where I'll be offering the home defense fundamentals, concealed carry, emergency first aid, intro to handgun 1, handgun 2, rifle 1, rifle 2, and red dot. So it'll be upwards of 8 to 10 classes that you'll be able to take. And really, again, like even the CPO class is 8 hours and 5 of them are in the classroom. It's only 3 hours of actual gun use and a half of that is just handling. So it's really little shooting.
All right, excellent. Let us know because I'll get Grandpa. We'll be up there. He'll finally fire his weapon.
I'm gonna need some video of that.
It's 45. Yeah. I got cameras too, so we're gonna make some good content. You'll get photo and video.
I want that video of Grandpa firing his gun.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Holding at the bottom and the top. Like it's a revolver, but it's a semi-automatic.
One hand sideways, man. Like the movies. Missing everything.
Absolutely hilarious.
Like a Tubi movie.
Tubi, yeah. Like the low budget Detroit joints.
Hey man, so I just found out what Tubi was this past week, and them shows, movies are hilarious.
hilarious.
You said Tubi?
Yeah, it's like a free app, right? They got a bunch of like, they got regular movies, like box office movies on there, right? That been out for years, right?
Oh, the platform Tubi.
Yeah. Okay. But they also, if you just type in Detroit, they got a slew of films and TV shows.
Bro, they out here on like an iPhone 7. Like, it's awesome though.
It is. It's so funny. I mean, like I'd be like, oh, okay. I'll give them this. Some of the storyline is all right. I'm like, okay, y'all trying, but then it goes back to this is shot on an iPhone. So
yeah. But hey, they had to start somewhere. They
trying.
Whoever's behind McGraw Ave, the best like hood movie show I'd have seen. But they got a few movies and you can see them getting better. Like they're getting better. Like I don't know how far they gonna go. I hope they go to the top. But Detroit got an underground movie scene out here, man.
So the people who directed, if you heard, when Uncle Pooh Bear comes to town, he wants to do a cameo appearance.
Man, if I can do a cameo, McGraw Ave 2, I'm out here. Let's go. Being dad with his 45, we out there.
Well, speaking of filming things, like, didn't you like DeLorean does photos, he does videos, he does everything.
Oh, that's right. He did say he had that.
Yeah, that's the business. And over here trying to learn this live stream for this wedding, like crazy requests that I had to switch up last minute. So that's been insane. But yeah, and then what else? A lot of weddings. I just picked up a documentary, so I'm going to be doing a documentary covering natural childbirth and education, which I think also within our community would be very beneficial because they already don't treat you nice at hospitals anyway.
Right.
So if you understood the importance of a doula and understood the importance of a birth plan and where you go to have your child, we would have a higher success rate when it comes to natural childbirth or birth in general.
Sounds like birth plan, the home defense plan, all that go together.
Actually, the certified lactation consultant now. So he's in that world.
All of it. My wife actually heard us talking to it, and she emailed me a bunch of all the stand your ground states, and then Michigan is on the stand your ground list. Okay. Chapter 780. And then it breaks down an individual who is not engaged in commissioned a crime has the use of deadly force against another individual anywhere he or she is legally in the right to do so. And then they break it down into subcategory A, B, and 2. So Michigan is on that list.
Sound like I'm about to limit my Michigan travels.
I mean, you live in Chicago, so you already know it's the wild, wild west out there.
I'm in the suburbs. Let's be easy.
No, I have friends who live in Evanston. So in that area, they have these restrictions on, Chicago already has restrictions on magazines and they have restrictions on the firearms that you can use. But then there was just that shooting at the little parade. That was in one of those communities where they had restrictions with magazine capacity and they had you couldn't purchase those firearms. But still had it, your
crazy cousins out here. This is what got me want to go. It's crazy cousins.
For my Chicago people, that was offensive what I said. It's not the wild, wild west. That is media perception.
I mean, if anything, though, that shows you that even the laws, like, they don't really matter because people are still going to do whatever they do anyway.
Crazy. They're not looking for no laws.
It's not me who legally has rifles and who legally has handguns who is going out here shooting. So why should I not be able to own those to protect my family and myself against psychopaths?
I feel you.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, let's just move to Canada. Just stay on the other side of the border. They got guns up there too, though, but just not as many.
They got muskets.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it? The Dudley Do-Right gun.
Yeah, right. That's what they need to go back to. Everybody got those. Be like, you know what? I ain't even mad no more.
Oh, man.
That's why you got your arms out, because you gotta load it. You gotta do all that other stuff. Missed by 15 yards when you fire.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Don't get me started on that.
But like I said, let's we gotta do our final thoughts. So basically, you gotta give like what you like, your final thought on the show, and then plug whatever your thing is. So you go first on the DeLorean.
All right, well, yeah, thanks for having me, guys. It's definitely fun here. My first time on the channel. Had a nice conversation. I like the different biases here, which is really good to talk about. Again, Fight or Flight Training is going to be the company name. You can follow me on Instagram at McFly. I picked that up at a class because I won Top Shooter and DeLorean, Marty McFly, all that stuff.
Come on with it.
But yeah, just follow me, come hang, come learn, and get down with this gun safety.
That's dope.
What about you, Grandpa? What's your final thought today?
What was you dreaming about?
No, I enjoyed it, about the firearms, and I'm interested and ready to go and try out my my Glock,
There we go.
Dust off,
Hey,
What's up?
how you doing?
Yeah, man.
I'm good. What's up, dude? You all right?
Oh yeah, you missed a banger today.
Oh man, it's firearms.
Hey, I was listening on Facebook there a little bit.
Okay.
I heard Marshall Jim running it down.
Yeah. Yeah. He was giving it
Hilarious. That's gonna be my new handle.
Yeah. Oh man. That was cool.
Came up to holler. I'm getting ready to get out of here, Dad.
Oh, okay. Is it
Yeah.
raining out there?
Yeah, it's raining.
I thought I kept hearing somebody in the kitchen. But they
That's what woke you up?
Yeah, that's a put in the street. Rain.
Oh, okay.
All right, gentlemen, have a good day.
All right, you too, man.
All right, Pop.
Yeah.
I'll be back out here this weekend.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I'll call you.
All right.
Hey, Uncle Pooh, what's your final thought? What do they say? Oh, so DeLorean will be our official gun safety and survivalist pundit for the show. Whenever we have questions, we will phone him. Pundit.
I gotta come up with an outfit so I come on like hold my rifle or something.
Yeah. You gotta at least have them hanging in the background or something,
Yeah, well, I wish I could show y'all these. I guess I can. I got the Harlem Hill.
Oh, okay.
So the Harlem Hill fighters.
Hill fighters, yeah. Oh, that's dope.
I gotta have my Frederick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're Frederick Douglass.
Are you like Uncle Pooh Bear? He got all them people behind him right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I got my young Harriet.
Harriet, okay, yeah.
So whenever I put on my kit when leaving the house, that's what I'm looking at. It's like,
I love it.
What's your final thought, Uncle Pooh?
I'm still leaving. I come for a gun, come to the range and support, spend some money and shoot up some stuff, but I'm out of here.
But the steel plate back there, steel's fun because you can hear it. It's like ping. That's when you'll start having fun. You'll be like, okay.
That doesn't sound like fun to me.
So Uncle Pooh Bear, he gonna fire like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it all. Like, all right, that was enough. All right. Nah, that's good, man. I love what you're doing, brother. Appreciate you coming to share the information with us and the people, though.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And whenever I figure out how to do it, whenever you get your commercial straight, we'll pull it before the show starts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have all the content, bro.
Oh, we definitely, we love spreading our people's business on here. We can get people straight. What was it? But my final thought is, I'm just, I'm happy that we got another family member doing well, starting businesses, and of course, doing it for the good of the community. Because like you like we didn't talked about this before, and I really was like I was like Uncle Pooh Bear's side. Like I thought it was just firing a gun and learning all this stuff, but I didn't realize all the extra stuff that's very important too. So everyone again interested, you got to go when he launches it. Like follow him Instagram, but fight or flight training. Look for that in the coming new year because it might save your life in more ways than one.
For real.
Yeah, and get you in shape.
And look out for the commercial with Grandpa firing his gun at some point.
In slow motion.
In slow motion. Well, that's this week's show. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for coming on, DeLorean, man.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you having me, man.